Imagine this. You're scrolling through your feed, heart racing as you read about yet another injustice. A single black mom, just trying to enjoy a peaceful day at the park with her kid, gets swarmed by cops accusing her of suspicious behavior. But what if I told you she's no ordinary mom? She's a badass FBI agent undercover, and the twists that follow will blow your mind. This isn't just a story. It's a roller coaster of suspense, betrayal, and triumph that exposes the raw nerves of racial profiling in America today. If you're in the USA or UK, hooked on true crime vibes like The Wire or Line of Duty, you won't want to miss a beat. Hit that subscribe button now for more edge-of-your-seat narratives that challenge the system and keep you coming back for more. In the bustling heart of Washington, D.C., where cherry blossoms painted the landscape in soft pinks during spring, but tensions simmered like a pot, ready to boil over in the sweltering summer heat, lived a woman named Aisha Thompson. At 35, she was the epitome of resilience, a single black mother raising her 8-year-old son, Jamal, in a modest apartment on the outskirts of the city. To the outside world, Aisha was just another statistic. A hardworking nurse at a local clinic, juggling shifts, school runs, and the endless grind of bills that never seemed to end. But beneath that facade lay a secret that could shatter lives and topple empires. Aisha wasn't a nurse. She was Special Agent Aisha Thompson of the FBI, embedded deep undercover in a high-stakes operation to dismantle a corrupt network of politicians and drug lords that had infiltrated the very fabric of the nation's capital. Her suspicious behavior at the park that fateful afternoon? It was nothing more than a coded signal to a contact, disguised as her sketching on a notepad while Jamal played on the swings. Little did she know, a routine patrol by 2 overzealous cops would unravel everything, setting off a chain of events filled with twists that would test her limits and expose the ugly underbelly of systemic bias. It all started on a crisp Saturday morning in late June. The sun hung high, casting long shadows over Lincoln Park, a green oasis amid the urban sprawl. Aisha had chosen this spot deliberately, neutral ground, away from prying eyes, yet public enough to avoid suspicion. Jamal, with his infectious laugh and boundless energy, darted between the playground equipment, his small hands gripping the monkey bars as he shouted, "Mom, watch this." Aisha smiled, her eyes scanning the perimeter subtly. She wore a simple sundress, her hair tied back in a ponytail, blending in perfectly with the other parents. In her lap sat a sketchbook, but instead of drawings, it held encrypted notes. Coordinates for a drop-off, names of suspects, all hidden in what looked like abstract art. Her contact, a whistleblower from inside the cartel, was due any minute. She glanced at her watch. 11:45 a.m., right on time. Unbeknownst to Aisha, Officers Mark Riley and Sarah Klein were cruising the neighborhood in their patrol car. Riley, a veteran with 15 years on the force, had a reputation for being tough on crime, which often translated to profiling anyone who didn't fit his narrow view of normalcy. Klein, newer to the job, followed his lead, eager to prove herself. They'd received a vague tip from dispatch about suspicious loitering in the park, likely from a nosy jogger who'd seen Aisha lingering too long on the bench. "Look at that one," Riley muttered, nodding toward Aisha as they pulled up, sitting there, scribbling away like she's plotting something. And with a kid, probably using him as cover. Klein hesitated, but Riley's authoritative tone won out. They exited the vehicle, hands hovering near their holsters, approaching with the swagger of authority unchecked. "Ma'am, we're going to need you to stand up slowly," Riley barked, his voice cutting through the playful chatter of children. Aisha's heart skipped a beat, but her training kicked in. She closed the sketchbook calmly, placing it in her bag. "Is there a problem, officers?" she asked, her tone even, eyes meeting theirs without flinching. Jamal froze on the slide, his wide eyes locking onto his mother. The other parents began to whisper, phones emerging to record the scene. "We've had reports of suspicious behavior," Klein added, trying to sound official. "Mind if we take a look in that bag?" Aisha's mind raced. Refusing could escalate things. Complying might blow her cover. She opted for de-escalation. Sure, but I'm just here with my son. No need for this. As Riley rifled through her bag, finding the sketchbook, he smirked. What's this? Looks like codes or something. You some kind of artist. The irony burned. Aisha had minored in art at Quantico to perfect her disguises. The situation spiraled quickly. Riley radioed for backup, claiming he'd found potential evidence of criminal activity. Aisha protested calmly. This is racial profiling. I'm a single mom enjoying the park. But her words fell on deaf ears. Handcuffs clicked around her wrists, the cold metal a stark contrast to the warm day. Jamal started crying, "Mommy!" As a social worker was called to take him temporarily. The crowd grew, murmurs turning to outrage. Videos went viral within minutes. #park profiling trending on social media. Unaware of her true identity, the cops dragged Aisha to the station, booking her on trumped-up charges of loitering with intent. Little did they know, this single black mom was about to turn the tables in ways they couldn't imagine. At the precinct, Aisha sat in an interrogation room, her mind a whirlwind of strategy. She couldn't reveal her FBI status yet, not without jeopardizing the operation. The cartel she was targeting had moles everywhere, including possibly in the police department. Her boss, Director Harlan Graves, had emphasized secrecy. One wrong move, and the whole thing crumbles. So she played the part, demanding a lawyer and refusing to answer questions. Riley leaned in, smug. We know your type. Single mom, probably on welfare, getting into trouble. Spill it. What's in the book? Aisha's eyes narrowed. My type? You mean black? The room tensed, but she held her ground. Hours passed, her phone confiscated, Jamal in protective custody. Finally, her lawyer, actually an FBI handler, arrived, whispering codes to confirm her extraction plan. Twist number 1 came that night. As Aisha was released on bail, arranged discreetly by the bureau, she discovered her sketchbook had been photocopied. Someone in the precinct had leaked the pages to the cartel. Her contact never showed at the park because he'd been assassinated, gunned down in an alley just blocks away. Aisha's blood ran cold. The cops' interference had cost a life and alerted the enemy. Back home, reuniting with Jamal, she hugged him tight, whispering apologies. But sleep evaded her. The operation was compromised, and now she was a target. The next day, cryptic messages appeared on her burner phone. We know who you are. Back off or the kid pays. Determined, Aisha dove deeper. Posing as the grieving mom in online forums, she gathered intel on the cops involved. Riley had a history, lawsuits for excessive force, mostly against minorities. Klein was clean but impressionable. Aisha's FBI resources revealed a bigger picture. Riley was on the cartel's payroll, tipping them off about raids. The suspicious behavior tip, planted by him to disrupt her meet. Twist 2. The cartel wasn't just drugs. It involved high-level politicians laundering money through fake charities. One key player, Senator Elias Crow, a rising star in Congress, beloved in the USA for his law and order rhetoric, but secretly funneling funds to overseas accounts. Aisha's investigation led her to a gala fundraiser at the Capitol, where Crow would be schmoozing donors. Disguised as a caterer, she infiltrated, planting bugs and swiping a USB from Crow's aide. But as she slipped out, Riley spotted her. You again? He growled, cornering her in a hallway. A scuffle ensued, Aisha's martial arts training from Quantico disarming him swiftly. You're in over your head, cop, she hissed, escaping into the night. The USB revealed damning evidence. Emails linking Crow to the cartel leader, Victor Ramos, a shadowy figure operating from Mexico but with tentacles in D.C. The plot thickened when Aisha received an anonymous tip. Klein was having doubts, recording Riley's shady dealings. Meeting Klein in a coffee shop, Aisha revealed just enough. I'm not who you think. Help me and I'll protect you. Klein, torn between loyalty and conscience, agreed. Together, they set a trap for Riley, luring him to a warehouse with a fake drug bust tip. But twist 3, Ramos had anticipated this. The warehouse was rigged, exploding as they arrived. Aisha saved Klein, but Riley escaped, wounded. In the aftermath, national media exploded. The park incident video had gone mega-viral, sparking protests in the USA and even drawing commentary from UK outlets like the BBC, highlighting transatlantic issues of race and policing. Aisha's cover held, but barely. Jamal, sensing danger, asked, "Mom, are we safe?" Her heart broke, but she pressed on. Digging deeper, she uncovered twist 4. Her own FBI superior, Graves, was the mole. He'd sold her out to Crow for a promotion. Betrayed, Aisha went rogue, hacking into bureau files, using skills from her undercover days to expose the corruption. The climax built to a fever pitch. Aisha confronted Graves in his office, recording the confession. "You targeted me because I'm black? Or because I was getting too close?" Graves sneered. "Both. You're expendable." A fight broke out, Aisha subduing him with precision. But Ramos's men stormed in. Twist 5. Jamal had been kidnapped as leverage. Racing to the rendezvous, a derelict pier on the Potomac, Aisha teamed with Klein and loyal FBI agents she'd rallied. Gunfire echoed in the night. Aisha, adrenaline pumping, took down henchmen one by one, her mom instincts fueling her fury. Rescuing Jamal, she faced Ramos. "It's over," she declared as sirens wailed. "Backup," she'd called. Ramos laughed, revealing Twist 6. Crow was his half-brother, the real mastermind. In a final showdown, Aisha outsmarted them, using the sketchbook codes to lock their accounts, bankrupting the operation. In the end, arrests rolled in: Riley, Graves, Crow, Ramos. Aisha emerged a hero, her identity revealed in a press conference that shook the nation. Testifying before Congress, she spoke of bias, resilience, and justice. Jamal beamed proudly. Life normalized, but with scars. Aisha continued her work, a symbol of strength. The story, whispered in USA streets and UK pubs, reminded all: never judge by appearances. Twists await those who do.